Hi, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your July 2023, your July 22nd to September 3rd Venus retrograde reading for you. Now, I also have an exciting announcement to make. I am doing private readings. So, if you are interested in a private reading, if you are interested in a meditation, if you are interested in an animal healing, check out my website, daneharttarot, which is linked in the description box below. And, come and see me. That would be fantastic. Now, also, if you're interested in any of these cards, the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So let's see the energy we need to be mindful of during this Venus retrograde. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. This is Freyalt reverse, so this is Temperance in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. So this could be being mindful of a Sagittarius energy, time frame November 22nd to December 21st. But this can also very well be that things are out of balance. We're having a hard time finding our rainbow, finding our happiness, seeing what it is that we really desire, or finding harmony within our relationships. Or, yeah, it's within our relationships. They do not have to be romantic relationships. Venus retrograde is a time where our relationships come to the forefront. So here it's I need to find harmony and balance within my relationship with myself and then within my relationship with others. So just know that balance, it can seem that things are just a little bit out of balance. It will be different for each person. This is a general reading. So for some of us, it could be just slightly out of balance. Everything's just slightly askew. It's kind of like when everything's moved just a little bit, something is off, but you can't quite put your finger on it. For others of us, it can feel like, whoa, this is a trip. Like this is just absolutely out of balance, out of harmony. What's going on here? And so if we can step back and center ourselves and say, I need to be centered first. I need to take care of me. I need to breathe. I need to calm myself. That can be highly beneficial because I see us being very reactionary to things. And here, because we start this retrograde on July 22nd, right, which is right before Leo time period begins, we begin on the 23rd of July. We're going to find that this affects us. There's a shift in things that we absolutely feel. So let's see what spirit needs us to be mindful of. Wants us to be aware of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly, guide this reading. Here it is, rejoice. Spirit wants us to be aware, to rejoice, to celebrate. Celebrate the good things, celebrate the beautiful things. Rejoice, let yourself be inspired, let yourself be happy, let yourself, it's kind of like it's radiating. It's let yourself radiate joy. It's rejoicing in the everyday, in the small things. It is so easy to get worn down, beaten down, overwhelmed. And here, when we embrace rejoicing, when we say, I'm going to celebrate, even just little tiny things, not every moment of every day. This isn't toxic positivity where you have to be happy no matter what. It's saying, finding joy in memories, finding joy in healing, finding joy in small little smiles and small little moments, to rejoice in that, to remember to have that sense of joy around us. That's so important. Even when we're going through really hard times, really negative times, to remember the small little things and to let ourselves rejoice. That's such a big thing. And if we're going through great times, letting ourselves soak that in, letting ourselves rejoice and be powerful beings. Let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Okay. Now, this is a lot, but that's okay. So, you have strong Aquarius energy coming up. We also have strong Cancer energy coming up. But I do see this very much also as the shift from Cancer time frame to Leo time frame. That's going to be a very important one. So, we can even feel a little bit off the first couple of days of the Leo time period. So, be aware of that. There's also a sense of needing to rein in our emotions. Our emotions can be running amok just a little bit. So let's talk about this time, astrologically speaking. So Venus retrograde, and this is a Venus stationary retrograde, again from the 22nd of July to the 3rd of September, is a 40-day period to reflect on our relationships. Excuse me. This is a time to reconnect with what is in our heart, what we desire, what we want, to honor ourselves, to honor our relationships. That's why the King of Cups is coming up here so beautifully. It is an intense time, but it's not a bad time. We tend to think of retrogrades as like, oh no, this is the evil boogeyman. It's not. It's having us come forward and really see what our hearts need. You know, Venus retrograde brings us the love that we need, the love that we desire. This is a period. Venus retrograde is in Leo for the first time in 8 years, so it is super intense, and it is going to be super intense for us. It brings back old flames. It brings back, a sense of healing, a sense of moving forward, and it brings it back because there's almost an energy that we had forgotten, or there's almost a way that we're looking at things and we're like, it's never going to be the same, and we are right. It's never going to be the same, but we are going to move forward in healing and in love and in prosperity and in wealth and what we value as much as money. There's a sense of connection, of rejoicing, of coming together. Now, be very, very mindful here, okay? Because this Venus retrograde in Leo, it can affect our spending habits. It really can. We want to be seen, we want to be validated. And I just see us really kind of being driven towards high priced, high ticketed, brand named items that maybe we don't need, but it brings us a validation. It brings us a sense of like, look at what I've achieved. It also brings us a sense of happiness or, contentment or beauty. So just know that. And also know that it can alter the way we see our relationships. Again, we want things to be seen, we want things to be validated. And this will affect our relationships with beauty and with fashion and with the arts in general. So just be aware of this. We have a tendency to do things for others. It's time to do things for ourselves. Again, this is a time to reconnect with our relationship with ourselves. It is a time to reconnect with what's in our heart and to get back in touch with our passion in life. Also know that during a Venus retrograde, scandals and hidden love affairs can tend to come to the surface, so do be aware of this. We start off with the Page of Swords. We are students of our voice. The Page of Swords is air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We are students of our voice. We are students of the way that we need to move forward. But I also see here as learning how to embrace our lungs, which sounds like a weird thing to say, but it's our throat chakra, right? And our lungs. I see this as deeply affecting the lungs. This can be a great time to embrace meditation, to embrace just rhythmic breathing. I do see people quitting smoking during this time, or if you have quit smoking, you can find that you're kind of craving smoking, all right, or vaping or whatever it is that you have done because you crave that rhythmic breath. So having something to do that mimics the rhythmic breath of inhaling, deep exhale, that is going to be very, very, very beneficial to us. We are getting guidance from spirit. We are going to have a lot of messages come our way during this 40-day period that are having us look at things differently, having us look at relationships differently, what we love, what we desire, how we're moving forward. With the Five of Cups, the Five of Cups is change your mind, change your life. We're a little bit stuck. We have a tendency to look at what isn't instead of what is. And so during this time, to sit there and say, you know, Stuff has happened. Things have happened. And it can't be changed. The past cannot be changed. But the future, not the future, the present can be embraced. And it's turning around and it's seeing healing, beautiful love. It's seeing that connection. Things are going to take a little bit extra work, Leo. And you're going to think, how much work do I have to put into this? But it's going to take a little bit extra work, but the payoff is going to be huge. There's a sense of leaving a lot of pain, a lot of hurt, a lot of disappointment behind, connecting with what you love, connecting with what you desire in life, connecting with your passion, your beauty, and your brilliance. But this is going to be a time where we look at things and it's just going to be so easy during this Venus retrograde to be a little bit sad, to be a little bit overwhelmed, to be like everything isn't working out right. And this Venus retrograde is very much telling us the love that we need, that we want, that we desire, even if we're in a relationship, it's not going to come until we start to love ourselves. And I know that sounds, like, oh yeah, sure, I have to love me in order to be loved. And it just sounds, I remember somebody saying to me, it's ridiculous. You need to find yourself in a relationship. You find yourself through your relationships with people. And that is true. But we don't need to dive headfirst into new love affairs. We like things that are shiny, that are new, that are exciting, that are adventurous. We are, especially as Leos, we're very, very drawn to that sort of energy. And then when things get a little bit boring, we're one of the signs. There are plenty of other signs, Gemini pops to mind, that when things get a little bit boring, it's kind of like, okay, it's time to move on. It's time to find something else new and exciting and adventurous. And we're going to be looking at things and be very hard on ourselves because of this. But finding that adventure within us, embracing that spontaneity, that brilliance, that power, that connection, that's going to be one of the best things that we can do for ourselves. With the Chariot reversed, emotions can tend to be out of hand. It can tend to be a little bit too intense, a little bit too, like, it's kind of like a toddler having a temper tantrum. You're like, what the heck sparked this? And we can feel that way within ourselves. We just feel a bit overwhelmed, a bit like, what the heck? How is this moving this way? We need to remember to validate our emotions, to sit there and say, what I feel has a reason to it. I need to be in love with me. I need to be respectful of my love. I need to be respectful of what I desire within my life. I need to be respectful of me moving forward, because there's a sense here of just being all over the place. And reining it in doesn't mean that we invalidate our emotions, because I see us doing that. It's like, oh my gosh, my emotions are just crazy. I can't trust myself right now. No, that's not the case. It's reining them in, and it's saying, I'm embracing me. I'm embracing my love, my compassion, and what I desire. The man and the god of the sea, he rules all the sea, all the waters. And what he's doing here is he's taking the waves and he's making them into his chariot. Here, we're taking our emotions and we're taking them and making them into the chariot. The chariot was a peak of human innovation. It was the tank of its time. It was the race car of its time. It was just this powerful, unstoppable thing. And so here, what we're doing is we're creating with our emotions this unstoppable power forward. But when we're in this place of negativity, our emotions are so hard to rein in and to really see clearly. So just be aware of that. We're going to be really hard on ourselves with that energy. It's like, oh my gosh, why am I so stupid? I hear that coming up, and it's like, you're not. Be kind to yourself. Be gentle with yourself. The Ace of Pentacles is God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing you a gift of prosperity, of bounty, of blessings. It's moving you to your next chapter in life. Now, we don't have you taking it right now. You may in the subconscious, right? But what we see here is this gift coming forward. It's like we know that there's brighter and better things. We know that there's more on the horizon than we could have imagined. And that's big news for us. There is really a sense here of divinity wanting us to succeed. This is money, or what you value as much as money, coming forward. And there's a real sense of prosperity. There's a real sense of a new chapter in our lives opening up. And it has to do around the home. It has to do around this is a celebration. Can be a celebration of marriage, of deepening relationships. This is a celebration of commitment, whether it be at work, whether it be at home, whether it be an intimate relationship or just a friendship. You are going to see that things are strengthening, that you are strengthening these bonds, that the value of relationships means more to you than the quantity of relationships, which is an absolutely beautiful thing. This is also a time during this Venus retrograde to celebrate relationships, to celebrate love, to celebrate commitments, to celebrate existence on this earth. It's just going to be a time that you need to celebrate. And people can say like, "Oh, why are you celebrating so much? Or why are you, making this into a big deal?" It's like it's because it is a big deal. It moves my heart. It guides my soul. I'm learning how to rejoice in my own energy and in my own self. And that brings us to the King of Cups. The King of Cups is water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. You can be having a really deep relationship with a water sign energy. This is somebody who's going to be very mature emotionally. Okay. So if you have a water sign energy in your life and you're like, "Oh, no, that's not them," just know that that's not who Spirit is talking about. This is somebody who comes across very put together, who has a lot of answers, even if they're not always the ones that we want to hear, very connected with their heart, but also very much knows what makes them angry. This is going to be a person who sees their anger, who sees the frustration in their life, who sees, being overwhelmed, being, having setbacks, and looks at it openly and honestly. It's like everything doesn't have to be rainbow and butterflies and, perfect all the time. And we're going to see that within ourselves. We're going to see that we are admiring of that energy. We are admiring of the path we want to walk forward and the place we need to be for us. There's a sense here of embracing your heart, both through chakra energy, but also through Qigong, pink coming through. So just know there's an intensity to our emotions. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, I apologize for that. The pink coming through is an intensity of our emotions. Red is the root chakra. Red is also the color of the heart, okay, in Qigong. And what we're going to see here is that it needs to be muted. What I see is the crown right here has red on the top, which is actually the first time I've noticed that. And how long have I been using these cards? But there is a sense that our mind is crowned with passion, but what we show to the rest of the world is a little bit muted, a little bit like subdued. And our healing is going to be very intense. Healing is going to be very important to us. Embracing our heart, embracing what we love, embracing what we desire, but also understanding what ticks us off, what makes us upset, what makes us overwhelmed. And there is a person who we're looking at and they emulate that energy. They bring forward that energy. And we're like, I want to emulate that person. I want to be like that. Now we could be falling in love with this person. This person can be a platonic friend that we don't have a romantic relationship with or who doesn't have a romantic interest in us. This can be a person. This is a person who is very guided spiritually, who says, I am living by emotional example. And there's just a little bit of power in that here that we're looking at and we're like, wow, that blows me away. And a little bit of power, of course, it's a king, so it's a lot of bit of power. The star. We're saying what we wish, we're looking at what we desire, and we're letting it go. We're letting it fly free. We're letting ourselves spread our wings. We're letting ourselves fly. We're letting ourselves embrace what we desire within our life. Aquarius energy also has us looking at the big truths that we want to say, the things that our soul deeply desires. And we can be finding that our soul's deep desire can be very different than what we have been vocalizing to ourselves, what we have been saying, oh, this is what I want. This is a time to listen to our inner voice. This Venus retrograde has us being very raw, very open, very honest with ourselves in a way that can make some of us feel uncomfortable or can make all of us feel uncomfortable sometimes. So just be aware of that and be aware that there are revelations coming where it's like, oh, well, I didn't see it like this, or oh, I didn't realize it like that. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is the Princess of Wands reversed. Now, this is our energy. We are a Leo. We're represented by the wands in the minor arcana. With it being reversed, it's just saying here we can be a little bit immature and we need to be mindful of that energy. We also need to be mindful of other people's immaturity sucking us down, kind of being manipulative, playing off things. So just be aware of a manipulative but very passionate, very fiery, very, intense energy that is pulling us off course. It can come from us, but it can also come from somebody else. Our subconscious spirit message here is success. Spirit is telling us that we are a success, and that is a powerful, beautiful, brilliant thing. You are a success, Leo. Just know that. Our subconscious tarot message is the Fool reversed. We're afraid of taking that big leap of going towards our dream and our destiny and what we desire. We feel stagnant, and yet moving forward just seems absolutely chaotic. And that's because our emotions are all over the place. Being aware of that, looking at what we desire, what we want, what prosperity really means to us, and how we want to move forward in our lives is going to be a very big thing. But subconsciously, we feel stuck. We feel overwhelmed, and we're afraid of taking that leap of faith. So just be aware of that. Just be aware when it's like, can I do this? The answer is yes. But you're going to think, no, look at when I've messed up before. The past is going to have a huge impact on the present. And what Spirit is saying here is the past is a learning tool. Do not let it be the weight that drags you down. All right. All right, Leo. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Leo. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless. And have a blessed Venus retrograde. Bye.